All right, guys. This is in response to yesterday's conversation. We were talking about putting together a video for you to show you how the bid tracker is going to work, so that you know exactly what we're going to be releasing as soon as soon as early next year, and then we'll have, then we'll have a few days after that where you guys can jump in and start getting a few users on board to see what needs to be added or taken away or what needs to be improved upon. Just like we did EGS. But basically, you're familiar with this, which is your electronic grievance system, as you well know. Well, the only thing that's going to really change on this screen is over here on the left navigation menu. You guys wanted to integrate this with the same server, which obviously saved you a lot of money. So we're going to integrate a new link over here called bid. Similar to grievance, it's going to be bid and it's going to be add search on that. So it's that way the users have the option of either adding grievances or adding bids. And the bid ad is going to look very much like this. Everything's going to be seamlessly integrated, except it's just going to be bid, add, and search. Of course, we have the PDF import as well for bidding, which will allow the users to work offline on their bids when they don't have a connection. It's a really cool feature that we built into this particular product, which will allow them to do PDF imports of bids when they don't have internet connection later on. And we're in the important links menu, we are going to put the bid tracker PDF. Okay, so we do have that part of it ready as well. That's going to go into the technology. This is the offline bid tracker form, and that will allow the users to save this on their computers and fill these bids out offline, and then when they're ready to add a new bid, they'll have all of those offline, and they could go to PDF import and automatically import from that PDF the bid. So it's a really good way to not have to duplicate the work. Now, in terms of the CSV file that comes down from management, that we still don't have. So that we will build into this later on if we ever do get a proper Excel file, and we'll just build that as an import as well, which will be an automatic import where they could do a mass import of the bids as they come in. So let's keep that there, as an option to add on later. And of course, we already have the technology built to import that, similar to how this is done. We just will need to see that CSV file so we can map out the fields properly. But with all intents and purposes, guys, let's look at how we add the bids and search the bids. That's really all the system is. It's a bid adding and searching, just like the grievance system is. So they would go into the add function under bid and click on the add, just like you do with grievances. Select the member or select new member, or this is tied to the grievance system, so it's going to look and feel like your current system. And then they'll select the employer, whichever employer, a facility it is there at that local. And this is tied to a specific local, so it's going to be particularly relevant to that local, which is great because each local has their own unique system. So the minute we turn this on, every local that's on the system is going to have access to the bidding tracking technology, so they can use it. And we could put a turn off button on there if you want them to have the option of turning off the bid tracker. I don't think any of them will want to do that because it's great to have enhanced features. But anyway, that's going to be up to you guys. And right here on the ad screen, this is where they will go through and add the bid number, the posting date, opening date, closing date, job type. I'm not going to waste your time entering a whole bid here. Job category, this is what we built based on your specs, which is everything from clerk, maintenance, motor vehicle. I know clerk are the primary users of this type of technology, I think. So that would be where also it could be full-time, NTFT flex, or part-time flex. So we can add to that, guys, however you want to. We can customize that field however you want to. Location, of course, there. And then, of course, here are based on your bid sheets that we were given and what you're recording, here are the fields that we have mapped currently on the entry screen. And this is everything from UNITPL, bid content and qualifications, work schedule, vacancy notice, award notice. What we've done here is really cool because you could do vacated by, vacated on, or newly established. And once you select one of these categories, it's going to automatically default these down here. So for example, if I select vacancy notice, it's going to take anything not relevant to vacancy notice. So that way, when the users select this particular notice type, it will take out any of the fields that they simply don't need at that point. And if they select award notice, then it's going to put back in what they do need. And then once they select the bidder type, like if it's no successful bidder, then that's just pretty simple there. They would select that and then click save. Pending qualifications, it's going to open up the options there for the pending qualifications or successful bidder, and then it's going to open up those options. So what we've done here is really limit the number of possible errors that the users can experience in terms of entering a new bid. And again, this is them going through the bid, clicking add, and then clicking on save. Many of the users will like doing this. They're used to doing this in the EGS. Of course, we want to get to the point where we automatically import all the bids as they come in. But until that point, and if it ever happens, we really need some way of entering and tracking the bids. And the next part of that trackability is the ability to search out the bids. So that would be where the user simply go over to the search menu, and then they have all the search criteria similar to your EGS. Except they're bidding searching, okay? So they would search by bid number. And of course, now this is our development site, so your particular locals won't have this group search function, but you as system administrators, you can, like Balogun, you have admin access. You'll be able to log in and search by different groups, which is kind of a mass universal search for bidding, which is really nice. It goes hand in hand with your universal grievance numbering that we're going to be doing. So that's really, it's really good because as a system administrator, you can look across the whole of your union in bidding. So you could look at different locals that are using it. So we already signed up 303 and 761 as test locals on this particular system, and they were using it some months ago. But anyway, you can search by bid number or type of notice like vacancy or award, which is really, really nice because that way you can break it down further. Of course, you can search by employer, member, employer, one of your facilities. All the dates, again, we can customize dates on this system however you want. Keywords, employee identification numbers, time zone, that's not even relevant to you guys. That will be wiped out. That again is a system admin development function. And then of course by craft, which clerk or one of these others there you can search by. And so the majority of your users will know what employee they're looking for or what type of notice they're looking for. And again, these are things that we can build upon, guys, but this will be the initial release, all right? So it's going to look very much like your EGS. It's going to seamlessly flow into your EGS. The only change to your EGS will be, of course, the addition of the bids adding and searching. Okay, we'll add the bid add search function over here on the left navigation menu, so the users can either select grievances or bids. It is a whole new database, but we are able to migrate it into the system, which will ideally be very clean for the users. I really like your ideas there. And then in addition to that, we're going to put under the important links menu the offline bid form if you guys want to have that similar to this right here, this bid tracker PDF. And then my vision for the future would be an ideal situation to have that import function to allow the users, when they get their monthly bid sheets, to automatically import those bids in one fell swoop. And that would be an Excel import function. So what we would do is set up, similar to this PDF import, we would just call it bid sheet import, or whatever you design, whatever you find from the users that it would be appropriate to be called. And then they would be able to go in here and we would map out the exact fields based on that import sheet that comes in, and they would be able to choose that file, and we would train them on choosing the proper Excel file that they got in from management. They'd be able to choose that file. It would go out to their hard drive similar to this. They would be able to select that file, and then they would be able to upload that file, and it would automatically, once they upload that, it's going to automatically map that file to their bid forms. So basically it would create if there's 15 or 20 or 50 or 70 bids that come in on that award or notice or vacancy notice bids that come in from that CSV file, then it would automatically import that. And again, like I told you guys, once we have that, if that is ever going to be available, there will not be a charge for us building out that feature, because that feature will greatly enhance the system, which is what we want to do. But in the meantime, it is already good to have the fact that they can go in and add and search bids, work on bids offline, which is something that they can't even do with their EGS, but they can work on their bids offline and then later on PDF import those in, which is a really nice feature to have. Technology we just recently built in 2015 to allow that. So we incorporated that into the BTS. So all those things are ready to launch and go. That is my description of it. That is what we have ready. And so when you guys give us the go live, then we will migrate all that from development servers over to your production box and to your live box, and then we will send out an announcement that the bid tracker is in fact available. And then that will open up the support channels just like they support through APWEGS. We'll encourage them to send through support or any tickets that they have if they're getting error messages, just like we do with EGS. Everything's going to be a very clean transition, guys. So when they go to support, we're going to put on the support channel whether this is a bid support or an EGS support, so that way they can select either system. If they're asking a bidding question, then they'll send through a bidding question support, and same goes true for EGS. So ideally, we're going to make it look and feel just like it's an add-on to the EGS product, which is I think what you want it to be. And so really this is just an enhancement to EGS for the users that want to use it. All right, thanks so much guys, and let me know if you have any further questions. Bye now.